And just to see this makes me happy that I can at least get this shared out there. Now there is nothing in here about tasing like we did with the other with Camp Kesem, but darn it, we can work on that. I don't know, maybe we can work it. Anything involved with tasing for fun?
No. Just kidding. That would be.
Well, see,
like to know what you're thinking on that.
I have a very good friend of mine who. He lost his wife a few years ago to breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a camp, it's based out of Slough called Camp Kesem. And I think I'm still pronouncing that right. Nobody's come on here and corrected me yet. But basically it's a camp for kids who have lost parents or have parents that are dealing with cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
his oldest daughter was going to be one of the counselors there, and then she got hit with it too, and he also lost his oldest daughter. So him and one of his physical therapists, because he's got, his fortitude is just amazing to me that he's been able to go through all this, but still keep as positive an angle as possible. And now him and one of his staff at his physical therapy place are doing a fundraiser, and they're competing, and the winner gets to tase the loser in the fundraiser. So it's just kind of I'm like, I had him on.
It's really interesting.
It is really interesting. He couldn't make it in here that week, so we talked about it on the phone. I'm like, okay, so what happens in a tie?
I don't think we're.
You're not ready for that kind of fundraising. Okay,
yeah.
Well, I know a guy that can help you, set that up or whatever if we ever get to that point.
Yeah.
So essentially, let's throw out there. We'll connect all the dots and stuff here. But what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way is through email or phone. Okay. Shoot me an email and let's sit down and talk and see how we can collaborate. So, and you guys are going to post that up, so I don't have to say it.
Oh, you could give it to Pop there.
So
right now.
F is in Frank, Tovar, T is in Tom, OV is in Victor, AR, at caretolearn.org is my email.
Yep, caretolearn.org. O-R-G.
And then my phone number is 314-712-7882. And
hey, look at that! Look at Papa Bear. It's so much fun.
This is cool. And then if I could make some, were you ready to wrap up? Or?
No, whatever you got.
Okay.
You got time.
Well,
we got Burger. We'll bring him in here in just a minute.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to, just make some kind of closing remarks.
Okay.
I know a lot of schools are dynamic. They're helping their students. And they might have food pantries already. They might already have a backpack program. Mm-hmm. We come in and really, we're here to fill the gap need. So we feel that even if there's a small opportunity to help out, we would love to come in and help the school district to help provide the health needs and the hygiene needs, to make sure the kids have the nice clothes to wear and they're not teased for having. I personally, when I was a kid, I remember squeezing my feet into a half-size too small shoe because they were Reeboks. And that was my first pair of name brand shoes growing up.
Okay, I had Wrangler jeans, trust me. And all of a sudden Wrangler jeans became popular. It's like, what happened when I was a kid and I was running around in them,
It wasn't fair.
It wasn't, but I guess Dale Jr. starts wearing them and stuff like that and it just changes popular. And, even Walmart wasn't popular when we were kids. It's like, you got your clothes at Walmart. And all of a sudden now it's like everybody shops at Walmart.
Right, yeah.
Excellent.
And then also I'm looking for connections. There's some wonderful companies that are based in St. Louis. Okay. And I would love to be able to have an introduction to Microsoft and the Tums and Energizer and any other major company that's got a headquarters here. I'd love to meet with a representative and see if they would like to help us out and be a sponsor for our event.
Excellent. So, and that event is June the 5th.
June
is there
5th.
Anything about that on the website?
There is a link on our website, but more directly, caretolearn.org/masquerade. We're doing a masquerade event. It's going to be beautiful, and I'm so excied. We're working together.
Masks then, right?
We're going to have masks. It's going to be the Venetian Masquerade. We're going to have a wonderful photo booth with a beautiful backdrop. and just have a wonderful night to raise money to help a great cause. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is our third gala, and the last two have just been extraordinary. Really enjoy the guests who come, and they dress up in the theme. And last year we did Care to. We did our Care to Learn Gala was License to Care, and it was James Bond themed.
Oh, nice.
And I'll never forget, we had a gentleman last year, he had it like a Dr. Evil outfit with a stuffed white cat.
Oh, nice.
Stuffed animal, that is, a toy. Yes. But it looked realistic, and it was great,
excellent.
So it was fantastic.
Excellent. I'm sitting here testing myself, see if I can spell masquerade. I'm like,
you did it good.
Is that
you
right?
did it well, yeah.
Wow.
Good
I'm
job.
shocked
Congratulations.
at myself. Hey, awesome. Well, excellent. Papa Bear, you get that video queued up from Care to Learn's website? Let's go ahead and play that.
For students in need, the lack of clothing, hygiene items, and food can be scary.
Going outside can be awful.
Seeing can be a nightmare.
And growing can be painful.
Care to Learn makes growing easier.
The future clearer.
Cold weather warmer.
So more kids can just be kids.
All right. Excellent. So, don't feel like you have to run off. We're gonna play this like the Tonight Show. If you want to stick around here, feel free. We're just gonna slide. You're gonna switch you and bring Burger in here.
All right. Yeah.
And if you just want to hang out, feel free
I got
to
a little
hang out.
time.
We'll kind of keep it up, and you can even stay in camera view if you want to. Here, slide back around here. What the heck?
Yeah, just move my stuff.
There you go. Perfect. Hey, see, look at that. It's a beautiful day outside. All right. Well, we're going to switch it up here a little bit, and we're going to bring in the one and only Mr. David Berger from Envision by Design. Good morning. You took the glasses. I have glasses on. You took yours off. I can't. Yeah.
Allergies, so my eyes are bugging me today.
It happens. Allergies. It's like cold outside.
What's I know. Temperature keeps changing 30 degrees each direction.
Exactly. Welcome, Mr. Berger. Yeah. The creative director, the executive in charge of Envision by Design.
Yes.
So, let's talk. Let's talk a little bit about Envision by Design. Let's dive into how it was created and a little bit about you. And obviously, we've never met each other. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, obviously, the Northwest Chamber has kind of a little connection with us here. That's how a lot of us have met and things like that, and through networking, and that's how we met too. So, let's jump in it. So, you were born, and you went, hey, I want to design things.
So basically, I come from an entrepreneurial family. Mm-hmm. So I have both a mom and dad, which is very unusual, who both started their own businesses and ran their own businesses for years.
Gotcha. I thought when you said you had a mom and a dad that was unusual. Isn't that how you got here?
Yeah.
I'm just playing with you,
but basically, my mom has a medical publishing company. It's 40 plus years old. My dad had 2 different high technology companies. He's sold those 2 companies, so they're sold to somebody. My brother now runs my mom's company.
Oh, wow.
My parents are both retired at this point. But I grew up around 2 businesses that literally started in the basement of our house.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like...
Yes.
I like it.
Exactly. But they grew to larger entities, and I watched all that growing up. So I was able to watch small businesses grow, develop, make mistakes, do things well, how they fix things, everything else. And, I was literally the kid who, when we didn't have school and there was no babysitter, I was sitting in the conference room with a coloring book and listening to music.
Nice.
So I saw everything going on, learned a lot, saw what was happening with that, and worked for a little bit doing graphic design for other places, and sort of decided I wanted to do it myself.
Gotcha.
I wanted to do it separately. So I started Envision by Design back in 1993. So he's now 27 years old.
Look out. Wow.
And I started it because I didn't like the way the agencies worked.
Okay.
I didn't like the fact that there was this major disconnect between the agencies and their customers.
Mm-hmm.
They generally had a salesperson, exclusive salesperson who doesn't understand design, doesn't understand anything, who's out there just trying to sell everything imaginable to that client. Well, it didn't necessarily fit what the client needed. They were just selling things.
They're just selling as much as they could.
They didn't worry about costs. They didn't worry about anything else. They were just selling.
Gotcha.
I didn't like that. I wanted to actually help the client.
Oh, you mean listen to what they were wanting, possibly, or ask questions and
absolutely.
That's a crazy
idea. I got tired of watching what was going on and watching how all these companies were going under and getting frustrated with designers and thinking the whole industry was just corrupt. And it wasn't corrupt. It's just certain groups were after making money first and their customers second.
Gotcha.
I wanted to flip it around. I wanted to do well making money myself, but I do well based on having a client for a long period of time, working with them, helping them build and grow, and developing with them instead of trying to make as much money off of them as I can and having them go bankrupt in the process.
Understandable.
So my philosophy was a little bit different. So I started working with those clients. I also did things differently. Most agencies charge per hour for all their work. I charge per project.
Okay.
So instead of sitting there and saying, well, it'll be so-and-so an hour and approximately 10 to 20 hours to do this, and then I come back and, well, we had to put in an extra 5 hours, so it actually costs 25 hours, and everybody's, dealing with the project, the company that I'm talking to then's like, oh, God, I want to make a change or two. How much more is that going to cost me?
How many more hours is that
and they're
gonna
just
build?
worried about money all the time. I want you to be, okay, I should be able to sit down and say, okay, it should take this much money to do this project and just give them a cost. And
well, you've done it enough. You can at least say, hey, okay, this should take me about X number of hours. This is my rate. This should be, here's your project cost. And give or take here and there. Sometimes it's quicker. Sometimes it takes longer. And you just
there are going to be cases where I don't judge it well and it takes more time to do. But more times than not, I'm going to be pretty dead on. And I'm not going to worry about the ones that take me a little longer. They're going to be some that take me a little less than what I estimated. So it'll balance out.
Right, exactly.
But that way I could definitely help the client. And that way the client's concentrated on the project, not on the money.
Gotcha.
They've already decided, okay, I'm good with that money. Let's get the project done.
Gotcha. So what are some of the things that you do for your clients specifically?
All right. So we are a full-fledged marketing agency.
Okay.
We do everything from logos to branding to all marketing collateral, brochures, business cards, flyers, signs, packaging, websites. We've even done fence wraps on football stadiums.
Oh, wow.
Trading cards for sports teams and media guides and all, annual reports for businesses. So it's a little bit of everything.
Nice.
We also have in-house writing capabilities. So we can write content for marketing copy, for websites. We could do keyword searches and SEO for websites.
Okay.
We can write blogs and newsletters, both digital newsletters and physical newsletters.
Okay.
We can interview people to actually write articles. So numerous different things we have capabilities of. But I like working with businesses to help them grow, help them develop. The main thing that we focus in on is helping those companies stand out.
Very cool.
And that's something that I think a lot of agencies sort of neglect. They're so concentrated on, okay, we'll design this, we'll design that, and everything else, that you end up with a situation where you have, say, 3 real estate companies that have had marketing done for them. And you look in the materials, and they all have a trifold brochure. They all have a business card. They all have letterhead. They all have envelopes, and they all look the same. They're designed well. They all have their own brand, but they're all the same materials. And if you compare one company to the other, no one really stands out.
It's all cookie cutter more
It's
than
all the
anything.
same thing. So I concentrate on creating different things. So instead of doing a trifold brochure, I would identify what information they really want that makes them stand out, shows how they are different than the other groups that they deal with, and create a brochure that separates them.
Okay.
So it doesn't
Quad
fold.
fold. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, sometimes it is a quad fold. Sometimes it's something else. There are all kinds of different variations of a brochure that can be done. And it's all based on how you want the message to get out and what message you want to tell.
Gotcha.
The way I do things differently when it comes to telling a message with a brochure is I talk about the content, go through what's there, and then come up with what size that brochure needs to be.
Gotcha.
A lot of other people will say, okay, we're going to do a trifold brochure, let's pack it content into it. Doesn't really work that way.
No, I think, well, me keeping my attention span on anything for a long period of time is always interesting, you know.
Well, that's where you come up with those.
Plus, I have these things now. It's like, okay, I got to read these little words. Okay, so yeah, you know, excellent. So, what's the coolest thing what's the coolest project you've ever been a part of? You don't have to mention specific names.
I don't
but
know.
just,
I don't know if it's the coolest, but it was a neat one.
Yeah.
A number of years ago, I designed a fence wrap for the football stadium for Lindenwood University, and they actually had a nationally televised game that year.
Ah, cool.
So I got to see my fence wrap on national TV.
Nice.
So that was kind of cool. So
Nice.
I'm like telling friends and family to go watch the game, not
Right.
to watch the game, but to see the fence
Your
wrap.
thing. We should have set it up. We should have had you like streak with like one of those pulled behind banners that Envision by Design on and run around on there. That's kind of cool.
that-
You're bad. You're nationwide. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's introduce Zagger.
Okay.
Now, you want to play
Yeah.
a video first? Or you want to talk about it first?
Let me just say a
Okay.
little bit about Zagger.
Okay.
So Zagger is our mascot. Zagger was created for a particular reason. If you go to our website, and it's on the video too, it'll mention this. If you go to envisionbydesign.com/Zagger, you will see information on Zagger. Yeah, you will see information on
That's
Zagger
so
and an
backwards
explanation
on
what Zagger is, and this video is on there as well.
Excellent.
So go ahead and play
All right.
the video.
Let's go and let's play the Zagger video here. This is so much fun. Papa Bear's having such a good time with this. All right.
Don't zig.
Zag.
Verify.
And hey, we're back. Excellent. So there is a little video about Zagger. That's a cool little video. I always enjoy watching that. I just watch it random times just because. It's kind of fun. So essentially, what, as you saw in that video, basically you're using Zagger, and the name Zagger is most people zig. You should zag and be different. And you go to the website, there's actually got a whole list of people underneath there that were different, that stood out, that did something a little bit different than the rest of the world and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. What people don't always think about with marketing is about breaking rules. Mm-hmm. It's about doing things differently to stand out and getting noticed. That's why people talk about this all the time when it comes to marketing copy. You don't always use proper English in marketing copy. I mean, there are all kinds of slang terms that are created and everything else that is done in marketing. Well, that's part of breaking rules. It's part of doing things differently.
Absolutely. How many words have been created because of products in this world?
Yeah, absolutely. And people are going to keep doing it because it works and it gets them noticed. So Zagger is one of the ways we get ourselves noticed, and it's an interesting concept.
I think so. Absolutely. And he's a cute little dude, too. That's the next step. You have to get some of those little guys made up, and you throw them out.
I actually have a stuffed Zagger. I have a stuffed Zagger I had created.
We're going to give that away right now. I'm just kidding.
No, it's in my car, actually. I should have brought it in.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Michelle will be mad if you gave that away, probably.
No, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere? Come on now. We're going to give it away right now to our fourth caller. I'm just kidding. We wouldn't do that to you. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
So what are your future kind of views with this? Where are you looking to take this? Who are you looking to meet up with and things of that nature?
We're looking for companies that want to get noticed, that want to stand out, companies that are caught in a rut. There are a lot of companies that, old companies, new companies, that just don't know where they're going. They don't have a direction. They're kind of confused. They're trying to do everything on their own. They think they're saving money by having their office manager design some things or do this, that, or the other, and they're printing out off their color laser in the office. It actually costs them more money to do that. They don't realize that.
Gotcha.
One of the main misconceptions with graphic design is that a graphic designer is going to cost you money. Graphic designers and marketing agencies are around to make you money. It's an investment. It's not a cost.
Gotcha.
The whole idea behind it is that you're supposed to make more money from the things that we do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you got somebody who really is looking after you, they will work to make you money, and they will explain to you exactly the reasoning behind why they're doing everything they're doing.
Gotcha.
When you run into issues is when you have a company who comes in, throws everything but the kitchen sink at you that you don't need, and won't tell you why they want to do it. They're just trying to do things.
They're trying to sell things, essentially.
Right. I won't do that. In fact, I'll tell people sometimes when they come to me with an idea they want to do, I'll ask them why they want to do it. I'll discuss it with them and sometimes convince them it's not a good idea, that you would just be putting money out there where you don't need to. And maybe I've got a better idea, or maybe there's something else we could do that makes more sense.
Interesting. What's the biggest horror story?
I had a company.
Not saying you did anything wrong, but just I'm just curious.
There was a company a few years ago. This is something that companies that start out really need to make sure they deal with. And I have two different copyright attorneys that I talk to regularly. There are companies who start out their business and they don't get it checked with a copyright attorney to make sure that the name they're picking and the logo and everything else is in good shape. Okay, so they come up with a name. They go online. They find out they can buy the domain name, and they figure they're good to go. Well, then they go ahead and they talk to some inexpensive designer, some friend of the family or whatever, to throw a logo together, who didn't do any research or anything else, just put a logo together. And they put all this together, and they start their business, and 3 years into their business, all of a sudden they have an issue. And they have an issue because they all of a sudden get a letter from some company that has a very similar name in a similar industry with a logo that looks a lot like that and has trademarked and copyrighted all the information they have. Now all of a sudden they have a choice. Either they go to court to try and fight this, where they're going to lose, or they change everything.
Right.
The problem is now the inexpensive thing that they did, where they spent just $200, $300 to get their logo and brand together and whatever to begin with, all of a sudden now is going to cost them $25,000 to replace everything.
That's not good.
That's a major issue.
Right.
If you do it the right way to begin with, you don't get into that.
Gotcha. So I had this idea. I came up with this thought the other night. I'm like, I'm going to do something that people would drink and call it Coca-Cola. I thought that'd be kind of fun, right? Wouldn't it? Yeah, that wouldn't work very well.
No.
But that's an extreme example. You can go much lower than that, where, there could be a company just small companies that you come up with a thing, and just because, if you think of any industry, certain things pop into your head and certain ideas, the chances are if you think of something that's, I don't know, like...
You need to do research. I mean, it is, the reason why it costs more for somebody, an agency or, a designer to do a logo the right way is because we have to spend time researching. We can't just sit down and start designing. We have to make sure what we're creating actually is unique. And there is a chance that, other creative people might have hit on something that we came up with too.
Oh, yeah, very
So
similar.
we want to look
exactly.
and make sure that, oh, shoot, that idea is already taken. I better stay away from that, that type of thing.
Right.
Make sure what we are creating doesn't really hit with something else that's already sitting out there.
Right.
Make it very unique.
Harry's Hot Dogs is probably taken already, or something. Anything like that. Yeah, anything. It's just certain things kind of pop in your head when you're, when you're coming up with ideas and brainstorming and things, and it's always funny where you sit there and go, hey, "This is great," and you go, "I've heard this somewhere before." Years ago or something.
It's very easy to just subliminally pick up on something. So I mean, I spend a lot of time noticing all the logos and all the brands that are out there. So when I'm designing, sometimes I'll accidentally pull in something that I saw and I don't realize it.
Yeah.
And then I start doing searches to look, and it's like, oh shoot, that's where I remember
That's
seeing
where that
that.
came from, right? Yeah.
I better not do that. Let's alter this. Let's change this. Let's make this look different, and
Oh, exactly.
So-
I'm gonna make products better. I'm gonna call my company BASF. Yeah, that's still that one. That is like one that, God, it's from watching football years and years ago as a kid. That was always the commercials on there. And it's like, for whatever reason, that was like buried in there.
Oh yeah.
It's like catchy. It hooked on.
Oh.
What's up, Papa?
Hey, I just want to let you know that we have a Facebook friend online, Kirk Fauble.
Hey, what's up, Kirk?
And he says that we have a family friend with a food truck that this exact scenario happened to.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
So it is not an unusual occurrence. If you have somebody like us who looks after our clients the right way and makes sure you are covered, you're not going to have that problem.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
You do not need to go through that. Trust me.
Oh,
It is not a fun experience.
That, right?
And yes, the one company I was talking about, it cost them $25,000 to fix all the issues. And they thought they were saving the difference between what they spent and what they would have spent was about $700.
Wow.
So their $700 savings up front cost them $25,000 in the long run.
Wow. That's a big check. That's got a comment in it. I like those checks when I'm getting those, but writing those is not a good thing.
You don't want to write those checks.
That's not a good thing at all. Definitely.
Well, that's the type of check that can end a business.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the frustrating part of it. Do you really want to be in a position where you might have a mistake that ends your business?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Don't want to do that.
No, especially when you could ahead of time. And I think there are some things where you can, I don't want to use the word cut corners, but you can in some areas, if you're starting something out or looking to expand, you can do certain things yourself. But there are certain things that And I'm trying my best, even in all of my endeavors, to learn that word delegate.
Yes.
It's a tough word.
It is a tough
it's
word.
definitely not an easy thing for me, but it's a very important thing to
Yes, it is.
pick the right, teammates, essentially,
Yeah.
to do things that that need to be done, and to also take things off your plate that are very time consuming and you don't have time for that. If you're in any industry, you should be out there doing what you are the best at, and not worrying about things that you're not good at. And I think even in today's days, it's things like, Dr. Google and everything else is been kind of a it's kind of put some things backwards in a sense.
Yeah.
People think that, I'm just going to go Google this and it's going to take care of everything for me, but
They figure they can read up on how to do it and automatically do it. The question is, when they started their business, did they get into their business to try and do all these other things, or do what they wanted to do?
right.
Concentrate on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do the stuff that you wanted to do. Let other people take care of the things that weren't part of that plan.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So you're going to do a lot better using a marketing agency to take care of your marketing and look after things, who knows what they're doing and can give you advice and talk you through things and explain things, than you are to try and figure all that out on your own. And it changes all the time too.
Mhm. Oh,
So it's not
absolutely.
a case where it's like, okay, here's one thing, just read everything.
No,
It
it's not
changes
the case,
every
yeah.
day. So I'm constantly having to read up on things, talk to people, there are new technologies that come out and everything else. And, the other part people don't understand is there's print and digital methods to market with. A lot of people thought, okay, well, when digital came out, now we don't need print. That's not the case.
Right. Right.
You need them both.
Mm-hmm.
The fact of the matter is, you don't need every single tool.
So I think it has to do a lot with who you're targeting and who your market is. I mean, my mom still buys calendars.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
People, and some people do it on their phone. If I lost my tablet, I'd be hosed. I wouldn't know what I was doing. But yes.
So you have a chiropractor who's 55 years old, never leaves the office, has constant flow of patients, and deals with elderly patients. They're not going to be out there with marketing material, networking all the time.
Right.
They don't need that.
Right.
They're also not going to be sending out a lot of digital stuff to their clients, because a lot of their clients, if they're in their 70s or so, are probably not looking online to see
Right.
things. If you got a scam.
Yeah, might as well have a
See?
scam call come through. It was like, we got somebody calling. No, it's just a scam call coming through.
But then you have the person who's had their practice for 6-7 years, who's in their 30s and networks 3 days a week, and their clients are sports athletes.
Right.
Well, they may be sending out e-newsletters regularly to their customers. They may have rack cards that they bring with them to networking events regularly. It's different material based on what the business is, who the emphasis is, and what in our industry we call personas, which is coming up with who your clients actually are.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, and that comes from knowing who you are,
Yes.
which can be trouble, trust me. Hey, watch this segue. So speaking of networking, we're going to talk about a few things that are upcoming. One of those things, hey, guess what? I'm part host of a group called Business and Beers, and we have a February networking event coming up. It is, see, me being cute, I tried to can, but what did I do? Can you see that? I put 2019. It's actually Wednesday, February 26th, 2020. That would be this year, 2020. That's what I get for trying to design things at 11:30 at night. But, hey, that is what it is. We are going to be at the Blue Duck in Maplewood. I've never been there before. I'm really excited about it.
Don't know about that place.
Huh?
Don't know about
Don't
that
know it.
place.
I mean, we're going
I'll
to find
check it
out. 2661 Sutton Boulevard in Maplewood. It's from 5:30 to 8:30. So that's something that is coming up very soon that I'm actually a part of, putting that together. So that's kind of a fun thing. I'm going to try and pull this off. Let's see if I can do this. just
great,
because
great
This is
parking in
Blue
the
Duck.
back.
there is great parking.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you told me you know
Yeah,
this
okay.
place.
It,
Yeah.
it used to be part of the old Monarch.
Okay.
Remember the Monarch restaurant that used to be there?
Yes, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
They've got
Oh,
a
there's
great
a
little
couch.
menu, beautiful little venue inside. They've got an outdoor patio with fire. It's just a really nice little place.
Fire is fun.
I don't know if you're
done
safe
here?
being around fire.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm trying to share. Hey, look at that! I think I shared
Where's
that.
the Blue Duck again?
It is in Maplewood. It's on Sutton, 2661 Sutton. I think I just shared that. I think. Maybe. Hey, you know, like I said, I always make the joke. It's like Wayne's World. You want to do it? You know. And we're having a lot of fun here. Right? You know, I can't help myself. Yes, sir. Yeah, there you go. Let me see it. 2661 Sutton.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ah, see, this is where I get these messages that pop up from the next door room because, you know, I don't know if you know her or not, but we do have to wish a happy birthday to the one and only Libby Goldman who's out there.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
Libby.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Libby. Happy birthday to you. Wow, that was like totally a cappella and like that actually didn't sound terrible either. That's pretty impressive. Also, let's jump over here. So I have, of course, you know how this world goes. I've shared a couple updates. Charlie, the Pound Pets dog that was burned up in Madison County, Illinois, he's improving. It sounds like they were worried he actually wasn't going to be able to keep his genitals, but he has. He's been going to the bathroom on his own, and he's healing, and he's getting lots of love and cuddles. Don't think that he is out of the water just yet. So I'm gonna try. I wonder if I can pull this off on here. Maybe. Hey, there they are. Is it Pound Pets Inc. Rescue or the Pound Pets Inc. one, babe?
They update both of them.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with the big one there, just because it's on there. So that I just shared it. Yeah, I shared the ink one. So that poor dude, he got toxic chemical dumped on him. Yeah, it's not good. The guy, I shared the story. We talked about it last week. The guy needs to be.
Oh, so it was not an accident.
Oh no, it wasn't an accident. It was on purpose. But he's improving. Things are looking much better than they were a week ago. Yes, I know, Wade. No, Wade's sending messages too, because there is another social event going on this evening at West Porch Social at 5 o'clock. It's cocktails are for closers. Why don't you talk about it for a second? He's like, Berger knows all about it. Look at him. He's like throwing it out, throwing you under the bus.
It's part of one of the networking groups that I'm a part of. It starts at 5, and yes, it's a nice networking event. Good people there, well connected, want to meet people and talk about business.
But Wade's gonna be there though.
Yeah, I know that hurts it, but
that's why I decided to take
survive.
it off my calendar.
Yeah.
Right, just because Wade's gonna be there.
I'm joking, Wade.
We're just giving you trouble, Wade.
That's all good. All right, so there's a couple other events, a couple other rescues. The A4A Pet Pantry and Rescue based down in Jeffco. They've got a couple things coming up. They've got an adult Easter egg hunt. That is the end of March 27th and 28th. Let's see, we got dinner and drinks and an egg hunt for $45. Hey, that's not too shabby. That sounds like a fun little party. A lot of fun, you say? Well, if Jen claims it's fun, then it's got to be, right? We're going to share that one out there. Also, they have a doggy Easter egg hunt. So how about that? The doggies get to have some fun too while they're going. They get to do some Easter egg hunting. This is me like hacking buttons here, and hopefully we're getting this all out there. Sharing these events out there. One more I want to share. So for those of you that know me personally know that I am, a nutcase when it comes to music and things like that, and I blame that entirely on my mother, and I mean that in a good way. It's when I always make these jokes when I'm emceeing the Globe Bingo events and stuff like that. We always do like a sing along to Sweet Caroline. And I always tell you, it's like from when Glow Daddy was like a little Glow boy and Glow Mama was running around playing all this music and stuff like that. But obviously, that's one of the coolest things I got to do is see Neil Diamond in concert a few times. It's a little weird when your mother threatens to throw her underwear on stage for a concert. Wow. It's a little bit of an odd thing. Wow. Awesome. But it is what it is. So that's kind of that. Right, yeah, it's something. But so it all kind of ties together. So one of our very first foster dogs was adopted by a guy named Ilko, who is playing drums for. It's called the Traveling Salvation Show. It's a tribute to Neil Diamond, and they are actually playing at the historic Lincoln Theater in beautiful Belle Vegas, Illinois, March 21st, 2020. From 7:30 to 10, so I just shared the link on the live feed as well for that. I am going to try desperately to get there. I don't know what my schedule is at, but I just shared the Facebook event on the live feed, so it should be hopefully up there for people. Yeah, I'm trying to help you out here, Papa Bear. We're rocking and rolling. What else we got? Hey, you know what's coming up this weekend? I needed a drink. Did you like that segue? Really? Well, no, that's not actually what I was going with. It is the home opener for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Caw-caw! Okay. Hey, they had a great game the other night. They just didn't come up on the right side of the scoreboard. They're 1-1, coming back for their home opener. Okay. It's fun football to watch. It really is. It's kind of. If you haven't watched the XFL games, you got to tune in. Like, kickoffs are wild. Like, the kickoffs, you literally have, like, the kicker's back by himself, and then the returners down there, and then, like, the other 10 guys are, like, 10 yards apart from each other just standing there. And none of them can move until the receiver catches the ball. Okay. And then they just, like, mash into each other. It's, like, it's wild how they have it set up. But, yeah, the Battlehawks, they are 1-1. They actually dominated Houston, but they just didn't do it on the scoreboard. You gotta put points on the board to win games. I survived the weekend. I entered the first year of my G's on Sunday. That's a little bingo reference to my birthday. So yes, congratulations. I survived it. Actually, I was pretty good. I was a little leery when everybody at one of my bar bingos knew that it was my birthday on Sunday, but it all worked out okay. Yeah, so we've got that. Where are we going to be this weekend? We're going down south. I'm going to Metropolis. Okay. Metropolis, Illinois this weekend for a Glow Bingo. Yeah, Superman. I don't know if he'll be there or not. He should be. Yeah. I mean, it's his town. The
statues are there.
Yeah, the statues are there. So we're doing that one on Friday night, and then we're going to be in Benton, Illinois on Saturday night. So Glow Daddy's going south this weekend. I was up north last weekend. It was a little chillier up there, but I got to hang out in Champaign and Island Grove. You've been there, right? Island Grove, Illinois? No, you've never heard of it, and it's not surprising. It's a suburb of Montrose.
Oh.
Okay. That really helps,
that
right?
That rings a bell, too.
Out East Effingham. Then we stayed overnight in Champaign, ran up to Rantoul. Up to Rantoul. How much time I got? I got 4 minutes. So here's a funny story. Real quick. So when I played football in high school, my junior year, they fired the coach and they hired a new coach. His name was Dick Hood, and he had moved down from Rantoul. He had coached at Rantoul. He came down and took the Belleville West job. And so I'm going to Rantoul. So I think, it's a funny thing, whatever. We're sitting at the heck was it called? The Rantoul Club. It's the Knights of Columbus. It's weird. Okay. Knights of Columbus now has to be separated from the actual, like, business entity. It's just a weird thing. But the gentleman that was in there, we had gotten done. We did the event there. We got done. We're cleaned up and had a drink with him. And I said, "Oh yeah, you probably knew Dick Hood." And I was just joking, like I didn't think there's any chances. Oh yeah, Dick and him worked together. Dick's 2 daughters worked for him when he ran the rec complex. So we had this long conversation about how my football coach from high school and this gentleman that we were hanging out with actually knew each other and knew for a long time. So that was kind of a cool thing.
Small world, isn't it?
It is a small world. It's really, after all. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that, Disney. That was split. I'm not paying for it. But yeah, so it was a really cool thing because unfortunately, it was a couple years after I graduated, it was just an unfortunate accident where Dick got hit from behind and actually hit the ground and broke his neck, was paralyzed, and he passed. It's been a few years ago now, but we had a little thing a couple years ago, a little throwback for a century of Belleville West football, and got to see Brooke. She was down there taking her dad's place and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. It was like going back in time sort of for me. But we got just a minute and a half or so left, so I want to thank Felice Tovar for coming on here to tell us about Care to Learn. Go to caretolearn.org. We shared those links out there. That'll also be, hey, look at, there it is. Look at Papa Bear is kicking it now. There's Felice's email as well as phone number. If you want to learn more, don't forget they've got that June 5th event upcoming at the Palladium. That's a masquerade, and I spelt it right the first time when I wrote that. Also want to thank Mr. David Berger from Envision by Design for coming on to talk a little bit about his marketing agency and graphic design. It's been a great day today. Papa Bear, anything exciting going on? Nope, we're all going to Cyberg's after this for lunch.
Yes, we are.
Northwest Chamber lunch. If you can come along.
Tell everybody hi. I got another.
You got another thing?
networking
All right.
event. Yeah.
So we'll tell everybody hi for Felice. Other than that, we will be right back here next week. Definitely hit FergusonUSAHotTalkRadio.com. Go to the podcast library to download any of the Kirk Schilling Extravaganza podcasts, as well as all the other shows that are on there. Stick on to Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio on Facebook. That's at FergUSAHTR. That's where we're pushing all these things. I kind of threw it live on my page a little bit, just so some people would see that. Keep building this show. If you're interested in coming on, get a hold of me. Other than that, you all have a great day. Love you, St. Louis, and we'll see you next week.